Hey everyone, so just a quick update on what's been happening here. Day one in Lisbon, a little bit of a recap, and then what I'm doing now on day two. First of all, day one was phenomenal. It was my travel day. I ended here around 11 a.m. Got to explore a bit, and then around 3 p.m. I checked into the hostel, got checked in there and settled away. And then I did some more exploring and actually had the opportunity to meet all of my roommates. So 2 of them were from Toronto, 1 of them is Scottish, 1 of them is from British Columbia. They were all amazing. We hung out all night. We actually did the hostel supper instead of going out for supper, which was only 12 euros, and it was a 3-course meal. It was phenomenal. So highly recommend looking for hostels that have food included. I also did breakfast this morning for $5. It was amazing. Last night, went out, had some drinks, of course, with the roommates. There is a pub crawl. We didn't do that last night, but we are going to do that tonight. Right now, I woke up, I had a $5 breakfast again at the hostel, which was amazing. 10:30 a.m. we went for a free tour guide throughout Lisbon. So one of the people who worked at the hostel just took us throughout. We went to one side of Lisbon, and then tomorrow they'll do the other side. But it was really cool learning about the history and culture of Lisbon, which when I was walking around, I obviously didn't understand. But there's so much history and culture here, and even though I'm not into history or culture, it was still really awesome to see. So that finished around midday, maybe a little bit after. Actually, no, it was more so around 2 p.m. that finished. So it was about 3 hours, but it did not seem that long at all because there was so much that we were going over and so much sightseeing that we were doing. Right now, I just went back to the hostel, changed my clothes, put on some sunscreen, and I am headed to the train station. So just about 10-20 minute walk to the train station, in which time I'll be jumping on the train and headed to the beaches. So you actually can't swim in the beaches, or it's not even a beach, but in the water right in front of Lisbon. It's illegal. So you have to take a train. I think it's only about a 10 or 15 minute ride. Super cheap, I'm about to find out. And then I'm gonna hang out at the beaches for a while. Today's plan is to do the beach, and then I'm going to go back to the hostel. We are going to try to find a rooftop bar. I know they're pretty popular here, and apparently are quite good views and stuff there. So I'm gonna head there. And then tonight, I'm gonna do the pub crawl with all my roommates as well as everyone else in the hostel. It's Friday night, so it should be a really, really good night. So I'll keep you updated. Another travel tip for people is if you do find a local tour guide. So this morning we had the tour guide done by one of the people working reception at the hostel. Do ask them as many questions as you can. It was amazing the amount of stuff they were able to answer for us. Not everything is as they say on Google or when you're researching it or even watching YouTube videos like this. But she was able to answer us all the questions that we asked and give us some recommendations on what we should do, some things that were cheap, some places to go. She also allowed us to avoid all the tourist traps. So don't just follow the people. Everywhere there's a lineup, she said, to avoid. They're all tourist traps. They're all usually pretty expensive. And a lot of the time there's very similar stuff not that far away from it. You just need to ask people, if you're staying in a hostel, or ask a local, ask people working at the restaurants, and they'll be able to give you some tips and hint on how to avoid the tourist traps that seem to be quite common in these areas. I also only have 2 nights in Lisbon. I originally thought that I had 3 nights booked, but I actually only have 2. The hostel that I was at was fully booked up, so I'm not staying in another night. I'm going to go to Lagos, which is a bit south of Portugal. I'm gonna have to take an Uber to the bus station, which is only like 6 euros, and then I'm gonna get a bus, which is about a 4-hour bus ride to Lagos. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, Lagos. And yeah, it's a 4-hour bus ride. It's a really nice bus. Take all my luggage, and it's only like 9 euros. So that's the mode of transportation I decided to take to Lagos.